Jolie here for Seconds Out with Conor the Destroyer Ben. Obviously you're here, the open workouts to support your boys John Ryder and Felix Cash. How's things with you first of all?
I'm great, mate. I'm just excited to watch the boys out in action.
This weekend, Ali Pali. We'll start with Felix Cash. How's he been looking in the gym? What can we expect from him?
He's a savage, mate. He's I don't know anything that he hasn't got. He can box, he can fight, he's ferocious. I mean, he's just so spiteful. Do you know what I mean? I don't see many fighters beating him. You know, if I tip anyone to be a world champion, it's definitely Felix Cash. I put my money on it.
Magomed Madiev, his opponent, undefeated. He's fighting for the international belt as well. Obviously, off the back of a win about 10 months ago now against Denzel Bentley. How's he been like over the last 10 months? Obviously, it's quite a while to be out.
He grafts hard. He's a hard worker. You know, he had a bit of a layoff, but you know, he's looking like he never had that time off. One thing Tony does is whip us into unbelievable shape, and you know the gym's thriving at the minute. Obviously, you got John Ryder and Felix Cash deep in camp together, so you can imagine they're getting the best sparring possible. Felix Cash, for me, I don't see anyone in Britain match him, going anywhere near him. You know, in terms of technicality, ferociousness, nowhere near. So it's only a matter of time before he wins the world title, in my opinion. And obviously you got John Ryder, who's constantly working, constantly in training camp. I don't think he has a day off, John. You know, he's like a tank, he's a machine, do you know what I mean? He's so strong, do you know what I mean? So awkward as well. So, yeah, I mean, look what he done to Callum Smith. He won, of course he won that fight. But look, you can just see how strong he is. Do you know what I mean? So, and he works unbelievably on the inside. So, I think these two fighters in the Matchroom gym are just going to be the hardest fighters to beat.
Are they crushing it in the gym, or is that just you?
They've been crushing it in the gym while I was out in Dubai, but I'm back now.
How do you see John Ryder performing against Danny Jacobs? And as you mentioned, Callum Smith fight there. Is this kind of redemption in a way for that fight because he didn't win, although you know it was a close fight?
Well, listen, all John's losses have been close fights, very close, and it could have gone either way. So, you know, it's unfortunate that he's drawn the unlucky straw 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. There's never been a close fight that's ever gone John's way. Ever. I don't know what it is, but, you know, he brought that Callum Smith fight, mate. You cannot say he did not win that fight. I don't care who you are. Everyone knows. And, you know, and sometimes it'd just be nice that, you know, people remind that he won that fight and he should be unified champion. So, you know, and Jacobs may be a close fight, but John's just got to go there and set his stamp and, you know, set the tone, which he will do.
Do you think he has to then go for a stoppage because of, like you said, when it goes to decision, sometimes it doesn't go or it won't go his way a lot of the time?
I mean, it must play on his mind, but I mean, it'll play on every fighter's mind. But he's going to go in there and do what he's got to do, irrelevant of whether it goes the rounds or not. He'll go in there and set the tone, set the pace, and let him, you know, stamp his authority.
And obviously in your last fight, you took it out of the judges' hands against Chris Eubank, one of the knockouts of the year. Obviously you've had time off. I say time off, but obviously everyone knows you stay quite active even when you're not fighting. What's it been like, obviously, when you've had time to think? What are you thinking about now when you think about the next fight and the next journey and chapter?
What's next? Who's next? You know, that's all I think about. Who's next? And that's it. Eddie, who's next, mate?
That was the question, though. Who is next?
Well, I'm hearing Hooker, Van Herden. Those are the sort of names I'm hearing, but I'll leave that to the team, man. Anyone can get it from our point of view. So it's just a matter of the team.
How has the Broner fight come or gone? It's not happened.
Not now, anyway. I don't even entertain them sort of fights. Kelbrook, Khan, Broner. You know, I'm more thinking realistic. Keith Thurman, Barrios, Hooker, Van Herden. Those sort of names.
Hooker would be a great fight. How would your styles clash?
Listen, I know what I bring. I'm not really too fussed about what he does. I know what I can do. So any of them names, I fancy my chances.
Chris Eubank Jr. fought Liam Williams on Saturday. What did you make of his performance?
It was all right. It was a bit awkward to watch. I didn't really know what was going on. It was just a confusing fight for me. The whole thing was confusing.
If you were in there, got the 4 knockdowns early, would you have stopped? You
don't need to ask this question, bro. You know you don't. Listen, if I see an opportunity to get him out of there, I'm going to wipe him out clean. I'm going to make sure that the fight's finished and done. Because it's rounds and miles on your body. But you knew the answer to that anyway.
Is it a mistake then, you believe, to kind of not go for it early on? Is that right?
100%. Mate, I would lie, mate, you ain't getting back up. Oh, and I make sure of it.
And obviously we saw afterwards, you both said that potentially in the future that you could meet obviously at a catch weight or whatever it would be, super welter, probably need to be a bit higher. How likely is that fight, you versus Chris Eubank Jr?
Whenever. I'm walking around now at super middle, so.
You're just walking at super middle?
Yeah, mate, I'm big geezer.
You could cut weight and fight Felix Cash's opponent if Felix couldn't make it.
If Felix don't beat him, then I ain't got no chance. So, mate, I can make 154, no problem. And my team, I spoke to my team. I think our teams have spoken, being in talks. 154 is something that I can definitely make. It's a matter of whether he can make it or not.
So obviously in the future, obviously you're at welter now, but you're going to be moving up weights, and middle and super middle could be the weights that you move up to eventually in a while from now. But.
Of course, I'll definitely move up. Goes without saying.
Last of all, just quickly on Fury White, what do you make of the whole situation? If the fight ever happens, you never know with boxing. It looks like it's going to happen this year in Manchester. How would you see that fight going, bro?
I don't know, man. It's a tough fight. It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Because White can fight like hell. So can Fury. So it's a tough fight for both.
How do both fighters win the fight?
White being White and Fury being Fury.
What does that mean?
It means White fighting like a bad man, and then Fury being awkward like he is. But then Fury can fight and all, so it's like, it just makes for a great fight.